I am in my 30th year of law practice, and for the whole time that I was actually practicing and carrying cases, I really enjoyed the thrill of litigation, thrill of trials. That really was a lot of fun for a long time. But I found that for me, the biggest inspiration and the most important part of my practice was trying to make people feel comfortable in an otherwise very uncomfortable process. And so I began to adopt a sort of a practice of trying to resolve things without having to go through the stressful parts of the process. And that sort of developed into me moving into a mediation career, because I felt eventually more comfortable in that kind of a role than in the adversarial role. So the bulk of my practice is personal injury mediation. I had spent most of my career doing that on the defense side. So I now handle probably 70 or 80% in personal injury, and then disability cases, some business losses, some employment. And I'm just recently starting to develop some Indigenous law or First Nations mediation, which is a fascinating new area for me. I think for me, the most important part of the process is to make people feel comfortable. It's really a very difficult situation for people to be in, and nobody likes to be involved in a lawsuit. And so my style is to be welcoming, to be compassionate, to provide reassurance to the parties that are participating in the process. So as I compare myself to my colleagues, I think I would describe myself as much softer in the approach to try to create an atmosphere within which people can come to resolution. And so I guess I'm all about comfort, compassion, kindness. I know often people will come to me when they have a client who is very uncomfortable in the process, or who needs a softer touch, who needs to be able to trust the process and trust the mediator, to know that they will be carried and held in compassion and treated well, because that establishing that connection and that trust takes you a really long way. And so, as compared to some of my colleagues who maybe take a firmer hand in the process, I tend to I'm always the softer touch, and I find that works really well for me. I love wine. I love food. I love to explore new restaurants. I'm a big yoga practitioner, so I do that a lot. And I love to travel with my husband and travel with my kids, or these days travel to my children who are older, and go to exciting places, and I follow. So that's sort of what I do in my spare time.